Jack's Kayak Mafia. So I wanted to do a follow-up on a video that I did on my setup 1 year later. What I want to kind of go over is the likes, the dislikes, the transformation my kayak has had over the last year. I have a 2019 Hobie Compass. The color that they had available at the time was the papaya yellow. And I'll be honest with you, it kind of grew on me at that moment. I just liked the fact that it was bright and I could be seen by boats, because getting into the sport, I was more concerned about getting hit by a boat than I was getting fish. So a year later, what do I like about the Compass? Everything. I still love it. It tracks really, really well. I'm able to get in and get out. There's not a body of water that I haven't taken it into. Creeks, canals, springs, inshore fishing. I don't really do any offshore fishing, but I've gone night fishing. I mean, it's never let me down. I flipped it a couple times, and it was easy for me to flip right back over and get back in the kayak, which is a really good thing, because you will eventually flip your kayak one day if you haven't already. But I wanted to kind of go over some of the transformations I have. In the video, the original video, you'll see it when I got it, and this is what it looks like now. All right, so obviously, as you can see, I bought a trailer because I own a Jeep Wrangler, and it is lifted. And to throw this heavy thing up on the top at 3 o'clock in the morning, it became a little bit of a challenge. So work smart, not hard. That's what they say, and that's what I did. So as you can see, I wrapped the kayak. There was nothing wrong with it. I just figured I wanted to personalize the kayak. So I did went and bought this vinyl wrapping. It's marine grade wrapping. And I wrapped the kayak kind of as an experiment to see what it would look like, would it last, what it would do after it's been rubbed up against with oyster beds and so forth and so on. I will tell you that it has held out pretty well. The only thing that I have noticed is right here on the edges, some of the spots where the sun has kind of got to it. But other than that, it's perfect. It still looks the same as the day I put it on. A couple more scratches on it. Put a couple decals on the side to kind of break up the pattern. But it's held up really, really good. Now, as you can see, on the kayak itself, there's really not a lot of modifications. Obviously, you got to have the fish finder. I will tell you that I wasn't really looking forward to putting a fish finder on this thing, although it is set up for that. However, it was a really good investment. I got it at a really good deal, and it has helped me a lot find fish that needed to be found. Second thing I did was this right here. This is a do-it-yourself fishing pole holder. I found this idea on YouTube. I have done some modifications outside of what they gave you. One of the modifications is I made the top stationary. In the YouTube video that I found this on, the gentleman had it with the ability to lay it down if you're going under bridges and so forth and so on. But what I realized is I open fish, or I use, I do canals and creeks, and there's not many bridges. So I really didn't need it to be able to lay down. So I put a couple of screws on both ends to kind of lock it in place. It has done fantastic. Perfect way of using the space you have, because these little rod holders that came with the kayak, I don't know if you can see that there, right, that they're sitting in, they were okay, but you would have to put a fishing rod sleeve in there, holder, and it just looked weird, and it didn't give me what I was really looking for. So I put that on. It's permanently on there. I leave it in the kayak. I don't have to pull it out when I'm trailering it. It doesn't go nowhere. It's solid. Bulge pump on the back. Like I said, I've only flipped my kayak once. I haven't really needed to use it, but it's one of those things where if you have it and you need it, it's right there. If you don't, it's still out of the way. With this rod holder being the way it is, I'm able to put my kayak wheels right behind the seat and still have a little space for some tackle. A little cooler perhaps for your drinks, your snacks. you know, little soft cooler. If you need to put a big cooler, you still have all this room back here. And you can put, I put a pretty large, I don't know if you can see that back there, right back there. I've put that in here and bungee corded it down. It's really good if you're you know, you're going out fishing for a whole day. Another modification I've done to this, obviously, is the H rails. As you can see them right here, the little short ones. I will tell you this was a pain in the butt to put on. The front ones are no problem because you have the hatch. These back screws right here. Yeah, to put that bolt on the back of it, it was not easy. I did have the assistance of my daughter, who is very slim, and she was able to reach back there and hold the bolt while I tightened it down. There is a trick to do that if you are interested in doing that modification. They actually sell a, it's like an anchor that you drill the hole in, you slide it down there and you pull it up and it locks into place, so that way you don't need to. Didn't know that at the time I was making this or installing these H-rails. So yeah, definitely do your homework if you're planning on doing that. The seat is the stock seat that came with it. I did add some of these H-rail accessories. My paddle holder goes up here. I find that it is a lot easier for me to grab. Just slides in, doesn't go anywhere. If I need it, pop it out. Don't need it, it slides in there. It stays out of the way, and it's above the water line. Right underneath that though, right here, is where the original paddle holder is. And what I've done is I use that to put my stakeout pole right here. And I just lock that down. It's always there if I need it. If I don't need it, it's out of the way. Again, doesn't get in any type of way. It doesn't get caught up on the fishing line. It hugs really close to the kayak, which is really cool. If you are getting one of these kayaks, I do recommend the deck padding. This has been on here for over a year, and as you can see, it's kind of grimy. I gotta give it a bath. I do primarily inshore fishing, so when you know the tide's out, you're paddling through mud and muck and all that gets thrown up, and that's why you kind of see the dinge. But I will tell you that once you wash it with marine soap, it comes out, it looks brand new, there's no issues with it. Now, as you can see, anchor wizard there. I do it of one of two ways. I either use that to drop an anchor, or I use it for my stakeout pole. I have a little connection right there, a lanyard connection. It snaps onto my anchor pole, stab it, keep it moving. Obviously my fish grips, my pliers, all of this is, you know, part of your attachment kit. You see GoPros, one of my GoPros, second GoPro, the one I'm holding in my hand recording this is my third GoPro, and right back there is my fourth GoPro. Now, I am going to tell you that I don't normally run 4 GoPros. I do run the one in the front, the one in the center right here, and this is primarily more for photos. And then the camera that I am recording this on normally sits up here. And this is powered by an external battery source. If you can see that right there. This kit comes from a company called 3BR Power Sports. And what it does is it allows you to add this little contraption right here. I don't know if you can see that right here, to one of your GoPro housings, and it allows you to run an external battery. Now the cord is rated for a GoPro. I found out the hard way that a lot of the GoPros can only record or charge at a certain amperage. So what I've done is I took an old battery box, as you can see right here, and I made it a nice little battery pack holder. So in here I can drop 2 of these small deer feeder batteries if I wanted to, and run them parallel, so that way it's a longer time. It's not too heavy, I can pick it up. It is 100% waterproof. So I have a fast charger on the top. This is where I would charge anything from a battery pack, my cell phone, something of that. And then I have the GoPro USB port, which is a 5 amp 2.1 amp or 5 volt 2.1 amp, which is the highest recommended amperage that GoPro recommends that you charge these batteries at. So I don't run any batteries. Let me turn the camera. I don't run any batteries in my GoPro when I have them on external sources. The reason I do that is I have found out that when you run the battery inside of the GoPro while you're using an external battery pack, the GoPro gets really hot. And when that happens, it shuts off. Or it corrupts the file. So that way the film that you recorded is no longer any good. So what I've done is by removing the battery and just letting the external battery charge or power the GoPro, I can go all day, 6, 7, sometimes even 8 hours of recording non-stop, and the GoPro never shuts off. Now, I will tell you that if you're looking to do something like that, you do have to upgrade your memory card. The larger memory cards will allow you to record longest. So just understand that, you know, anytime you do look for a longer recording time, you just have to put in a little bit of money to invest in the right equipment. All right, so last thing I kind of want to talk about is the fish finder and the lights that I have on my deck. So I have these little button lights, and they're at the 2 in the middle, 2 in front, and 2 in the back. And what these are good for is when I'm going out night fishing, or I'm going out early in the morning before the light comes up, I can kick these lights on, and it helps me see a little better if I'm changing a lure, or if I am needing to be illuminated so that boats don't run you over, because it's bright enough to light you up but not bright enough to blind you. It is important that when you're fishing in the morning before the sun comes up, or late in the evening, that the boaters can see you, because if they don't, they will run your boat over. All right, center hatch. So to power these up, I have another battery pack. Now this battery pack sits in the center hatch, has an external cord. I plug and play, put this on the charger when I'm not fishing with it, and when I'm done with it, I just come up here when I need it, plug it up, it's out of the way. I hope you can see this. Drop it in the hole, close my hatch. There you go. Hatch is closed, battery is powered, and then I can come over here, and behind this mesh right here, I have my control. Now, this is a control box or switch for the Yak power setup. I have an 8-man setup. Let me turn on my power pack here. Bear with me 1 second. Oh, and as you can see, I have the whole little fishing patch right here. Give me 1 moment. All right, so right there, I don't know if you can see that box. That is the power pack for the entire power system. So I have 8 plugs, 8 different ports. I have 2 nav lights, your bow, your midsection, your stern for my lights. If I turn this on, I can turn on the mid lights, as you can see right there. They turn on, they light it up. Because the orange and blue, it always goes good. It looks great. I have my stern lights, which are the back deck lights. I don't know if you can see those there. That lights up the entire back stern of the boat. So people, for the boats behind me that are coming up, they can see me. And then I have the bow lights, which is up front, right here and right here. Also, I have my fish finder, which lights up with number 1. And then I still have 2 additional power ports that I can use that are available right here as well. as you can see right there. So if I want to turn off that, I can turn it off from here, and turn these off right here. And it is Bluetooth capable, which is really cool because that means I don't even need to touch the buttons. I don't need to touch that. I can just do it straight off of my phone. Again, all has to do with the convenience, right? Convenience of having everything at your disposal, at your fingertips. That Kayak power management system, let me turn the camera this way. That cost me about $100. I got it on sale last year during Christmas when I decided to start recording some of my fishing trips. I will tell you it was a really good investment. I'm not done. I don't like how the wires are inside the kayak. So I'll eventually kind of tuck those away and make them nice and clean so they don't bounce around. But for the most part, the box itself is waterproof. It's water resistant. Let me rephrase, water resistant. And unless you decide to flood your kayak and get water all up inside of there, it really doesn't see any moisture or any water. Outside of that, that's pretty much it. You know, if you have any questions, concerns, ideas that maybe I should look into, or new products that you would like me to test out, just shoot me a link. I don't have a problem, you know, doing a quick review on it. I will tell you that I do have a new product that I am testing out that is the mounting system for my new GoPro. So this is a company called Snap. I saw it, I believe, on Facebook. I'm not 100% sure. I would probably, yeah, I think I saw it on Facebook or Kickstarter or something like that. And what it is, it's a magnetic clamp that allows you to switch how you mount your GoPro. So it is very simple. It's a plate that mounts to the frame of the GoPro, and then it has a magnetic clip. I'm going to see if I can, as you can see, it's pretty strong. This is basically what it is. And this allows you to basically, I don't know if you can hear this, let me see. Snap the camera onto whatever mount you're using. It is so far the coolest thing I've seen. It's very strong. I have swung my camera around to see if it will come off. I used it the other day to go fishing in my